Well, this weekend is Memorial Day weekend. Now, for some, it's the start of the summer vacation season or an extended weekend for barbecue or a trip to the beach or lake. But if Americans forget the purpose for the day, then God forgive us. Our freedom and privileges to live in a country where the people rule comes at a very high price of service, suffering, and ultimately sacrifice. Men and women put on uniforms, and they train to do things they never imagined they were capable of. And they're sometimes sent to places halfway around the world whose names they can't pronounce, all to ensure that the fight for our freedom is kept worlds away instead of in our streets and communities. On Memorial Day, we set aside a day to reflect and remember those who gave their lives for us. These are the heroes who never spent another day at the beach or at a barbecue. They didn't walk their daughters down the aisle at a wedding. They never finished college or made a career or got to enjoy decades of birthdays and Christmas holidays with family and friends. Hopefully, they're thought of more than just from the occasional visit from a family member at the cemetery. Now, we don't have a draft into the military anymore. That ended 6 months before my 18th birthday. Vietnam was winding down, and in 1973, the military was starting to get people out instead of getting them in. I was in ROTC my freshman year of college, but after a semester, the colonel in charge of the program looked at my incredibly flat feet, and he told me, "Don't waste my time or your money for the second semester because the Army just flat didn't want me, and frankly, they wouldn't have me." Honestly, it was about the most profound rejection I experienced. That is until I ran for president in 2016 and became one of Donald Trump's casualties. Now, had I been born 6 months earlier, or had the war not finally come to an end, I might have missed having the joy of holding 6 grandkids and messing them up with my indulgences. I will admit that I've always felt a little guilty that my country didn't need me, or apparently didn't want me in uniform. And it's maybe why I feel just profoundly duty-bound to pay attention to Veterans Day, but especially to Memorial Day. My wife and I always try to attend a Memorial Day event to honor our military. This week, we'll go to an East Texas camp where Gold Star families are being honored by a group called America's Mighty Warriors, started by Debbie Lee, whose son Mark was the first Navy SEAL killed in action in Iraq on August the 2nd of 2006. He stepped in the line of fire to allow his teammates the opportunity to rescue a wounded fellow SEAL. Debbie Lee's tribute to her son is a living reminder that it's not just the servicemen and women who pay a price, but their families as well. I hope you can enjoy the long weekend. And there's nothing wrong with a day at the beach or the lake or the pool or grilling burgers or pork ribs. But if we indulge ourselves a holiday and we don't pause and pay tribute to those who gave it to us, then I'm going to say it again. May God forgive us. To our veterans, I just want to say thanks. I owe you my next breath of free air. Thank you.